I was sitting back, minding my own business, doing what I do best, peeling the skin off of my ashy knees. And that's when I got a comment on one of my most recent videos asking me, why was I so racist? And I was confused by this comment because if you're watching this video, you can tell that I'm 100% black. And if you go on social media where everything's true 100% of the time, you will realize that black people can never be racist whatsoever in any capacity. So I was heartbroken to see someone watch one of my videos and throw that accusation towards me, a black man, during Black History Month. But that's when I realized that this individual had a good reason for asking me that, because I did something in that video that a black person should never do to another black person. And that's hold that person accountable for the stupid actions that they did. And that is something that I should not have done. And after having a moment of self-reflection, I realized that I have countless videos where I am doing that exact same thing. Whether if it's me questioning someone's intelligence because they put Gorilla Glue in their hair, or calling out the men and the women who sit here and pretend to be victims and put on these fake kidnappings and fake hate crimes for attention and use the fact that they're black to try to get away with it. I have done this countless times and I am disgusted with myself. I have been poisoned by the white man and his white privilege, and I have become a victim of being whitewashed. And so after realizing that I had been tainted by a white man and his white privilege, I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with what has been called the whitewash disease. And I came home and I scoured the internet looking for a cure, because I need this whiteness out of my system so that I can continue striving to be the independent black woman I aspire to be. That's when I found this thread on Twitter calling out Coca-Cola for training their employees on how to be less white. And while everyone is viewing this as something to laugh at or to call out Coca-Cola for, I am viewing it as a learning opportunity to get this whiteness out of my system and to teach white people watching this video on how to be less white. And you'll be shocked to find out that after paying money for this, that there is nothing here that can educate a white person on how to be less white. Now, when I saw this picture, I thought someone was pulling my dick trying to make Coca-Cola and Robin DiAngelo look bad. But after paying for this training and finding this thing for myself, I can confirm this is 100% on this actual training run by Robin DiAngelo. And it's under the section What You Can Do, and it's called To Be Less White Is To. And it has a bunch of things that you can do to be less white, which are all completely fucking idiotic, because this is not exclusive to white people. To be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, break with white solidarity. So how the fuck am I supposed to be less white if you want me to break things with my white solidarity? Aren't I supposed to be doing things with solidarity in and of itself instead of labeling it under my whiteness? Furthermore, what the fuck does listening and believing have to do with being white? That's not exclusive to a race or a skin color. Furthermore, as a white person, am I supposed to believe someone like Jussie Smollett? Am I supposed to listen to somebody like Jussie Smollett who will sit there and create a fake hate crime about how some MAGA hat wearing people beat his ass? Meanwhile, he just got a tuna sandwich up his dick. Like, I'm supposed to believe people like that and be less ignorant? There are countless people all over the world who are ignorant. That is not a white exclusive thing. Be less certain. What am I supposed to be less certain of? What in this world am I supposed to be less certain of that would make me less white? Be less defensive. Be less defensive of what? What are you signaling towards? What are you questioning that I should be less defensive about? Because there are countless things that anyone could be defensive about. And this list is not specific. It's just saying be less, be more, break things with your whiteness. These things are not exclusive to white people. I know black people that really need to do all of these fucking things because a lot of them are ignorant and arrogant and aren't certain of themselves, and they are definitely defensive when you call them out on a bunch of bullshit that they do. They don't listen, they don't fucking believe in a lot of shit, and they're always claiming something regarding white solidarity. So you can't sit here and make this an only white person thing. And to sit here and this be made by, or I guess, Rob and DiAngelo is completely and utterly idiotic to me, because this is not something that white people need to be less white. This is something humanity needs to be less fucking stupid. I feel bad for white people having to go through shit like this. There are people who just want to live out their dream jobs and work in certain institutions, and they're going to have to take these training lessons. They're going to have to sit through all of these videos, which run between either 5 minutes or 11 minutes, and have to learn how to be less white. And a majority of these things are not white specific. So I don't see how people could sit here and say, yes, they must suffer through these training lessons. They must learn to be less white, when these things aren't even exclusive for white people. This should be something humanity needs to learn, because humanity can benefit from being less ignorant and being less defensive, because there are countless things that everyone is defensive about, especially when evidence comes out to go against their argument, and they're still defensive about it. I don't see how people can sit here and say, oh yes, this is a white problem. Being defensive is a white problem, when I have individuals who will still message me about Jesse Smollett being innocent and ignoring any evidence that comes out against him. So how can anyone sit here and take this seriously? Like, if I was applying for a job and I realized that I had to take one of these courses, I'd just say fuck it and be homeless, because I'd rather be a homeless person with no money selling my body for some crack and dick sex instead of taking any of this. I came here looking for a way to cure my whitewashed diseaseness, but instead I'm sitting here realizing that I'm not whitewashed. I'm just a regular human, because if these are the things that need to be done in order to be less white, then everybody's got to take this, because we're all white on the inside. But subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below. Have you taken this training course to be less white, or are you someone who actually values your humanity and doesn't want to do something this stupid? I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.